Good morning, students. Welcome to this online class. In this class, we are going to see a poem, Value, written by Colonel Hippolyte. Let's see some details about the poet. Colonel Hippolyte is a Caribbean poet. The Caribbean is a region of the Americas that consists of the Caribbean Sea, its islands, and the surrounding coast. The region is southeast of the Gulf of Mexico and the North American mainland, east of Central America, and north of South America. He is a great writer. He is born in 1952, a Caribbean poet, professor, and a playwright who has won many awards for his writing. His poems captured the rhythms of Caribbean speech, giving them a distinctive flavor. Night Missions and Birthright are some of his well known collections of poems. In this poem, he talks about a shop which he used to visit often during his childhood. This poem is a free words. Let's see what is a free words. A free words poem does not use rhyme or patterns. It can vary freely in lengths of lines, stanzas, or subject. Here is a sample poem. It's a revenge. When I find out who took the last cookie out of the jar and left me a bunch of stale old messy crumbs, I am going to take me a handful and crump up someone's bed. So the boy wants to take a revenge on someone who took the last cookie out of the jar. So he wanted to take handful of uh, the stale old messy crumbs, the crumbs from the biscuits, and spread it on someone's bed to take revenge. Okay, so a free words poem does not use rhyme or patterns. Okay, let's see the poem. In those days, all shops were called Ma this or Mr. That. One shop my mother used to send me to was called Ma Branch. I would go playing with my shadow all the way, trying to outrun it on the Methodist church wall. So the poet remembers his childhood. During his childhood, he used to go to one particular grocery shop which was named as Ma Branch. In those days, the shops were named Ma Branch or Mr. Brown, like that. Yes, this is a picture of a typical grocery shop with the salespersons inside. Okay, let's move. So here we could see some shops in those days which were named as Davis, Mr. Brown, Mr. Jones, like that. Okay, here uh, there is a line in the poem about Methodist Church. Okay, Methodist. In the fourth line, we could see Methodist church wall. Okay, Methodist. Who were called as Methodists? Let's see. Methodists are a sect that separated from the Christian church. They believe in leading a holy life and studying the Bible thoroughly. This is a picture of a Methodist church and the interior of a Methodist church. Okay, let's move. Dodging it away from other feet. So the poet wanted to dodging his shadow, or suddenly stopping it. He wanted to stop the shadow, chanting my list meanwhile, so I would not forget. This is the tendency of children, that if their parent asked them to buy something from the grocery shop, means that they would repeat what the things to be purchased. Okay, like that, the poet also remembers in those days he would chant of LB shalt fish. LB means pound. Okay, abbreviation for pound. And one fourth bottle oil, 4 pound keg butter, one blue soap, and two cough drops. Over and over till I reached the shop. So the poet would repeat those items. Okay, here we could see the pictures of a saltfish, keg butter, the blue soap, cough drops. Okay, of the two ladies selling, I liked the tall, dark, gleaming one, whose face I later recognized in Benin sculpture. The poet remembers about the saleswoman who was working in that shop. She was tall, dark, and gleaming one. Gleaming in the sense reflecting light, typically because of cleanliness and polish. Okay, she would set the things down one by one: gold, blue, lemon, dark white, speckled shapes, smells, rustling of paper. Okay, so the lady would set everything one by one in the correct order. Okay, this is the pictures of a Benin sculpture. So that tall woman who was a saleswoman in the shop, her face resembles a Benin sculpture. Okay, let's move. Until I had a heap of pirate's treasure on the wooden counter. Pirate's treasure. Okay, the sea robbers' treasure. Okay, like that, like a pirate's treasure, the things were uh, uh, spread on the wooden counter. Then she would slip the pencil from her hair, tear off a piece of shop paper, make a rope leader of figures, and I would watch the pencil climb, drop. So, after arranging the things, she would take a piece of paper and write those things and their prices too. Okay, so here the poet says about the pirate's treasure. That is a metaphor where the poet says the goods on the shop's counter are as precious as a pirate's treasure. Okay, and another thing, the pencil. She was writing with the pencil, which was looking like climbing and dropping down, climbing up and dropping down. That's an example for personification, where the pencil is imagined as a human being who is climbing up and dropping down. Okay, here we could see a picture of a pirate's treasure. Okay, yes, let's move. So on the wooden counter, she would spread all those things one by one, arrange it properly, and then she would make a list of it. Okay, it's a heap of. Okay, Mob Branch didn't shell. She sat down, as comfortable as a barrel, amidst a large treasure heap of bags and boxes, packages, cans. Not missing a thing, collecting money, talking with customers. Some women came with notebooks and no money, regulars. So here with the poet says about the owner of the shop, Mob Branch. She would sat down as comfortable as a barrel. She was compared to a barrel. So, amidst a large treasure heap of bags and boxes, everything, she would sit. She sat down as comfortable as a barrel. So she would not miss anything. She would engage herself in all those activities in a critic, a typical grocery shop, collecting money, talking with customers, everything. Here, the poet says about regulars. Regulars means the people who often go to the same place. Okay, so some women came with notebooks. They were regulars because they were purchasing goods on credit. Okay, here with we could see the grocery shop. Okay, here mob branch. We were was sitting like a barrel. This is a simile. The poet is comparing a mob branch's comfortable existence in the shop to that of a sturdy barrel among many boxes and cans. Okay, let's move. Mob branch on Friday when the man get paid. So some women who were visiting her shop and would buy things on credit. Mob branch, she would collect the money on Friday when the man get paid. On Friday, the people would get their salaries, their wages. So on that day, she would get the amount for those goods. And sometimes a child whose mother couldn't write would speak up too loudly. More branch, my mother say. Okay, so this is what happens when we send the children to the shop. They would forget the things so that in order to no, in order not to forget the things they would shout, more branch. My mother say this and that like that. Okay. Yes, Ma Branch had a miraculous set of balances in her head in which she weighed each separate request unhurriedly. No one ever took her for granted, yet I never saw her do otherwise eventually. So she had a very good evaluation about people in her head. Okay, she weighed each person's requests separately and unhurriedly, without any hurry, she would uh, discharge all her duties. Okay, no one ever took her for granted. Okay, yes, and herewith we could see the balance, a set of balance. Then bob her head to one side to a shop lady, then nod once the other side to an expecting customer. So this is how mob branch was acting, doing her work in the shop. Okay, she would bob her head to one side to a shop lady, and then nod to the side to an expectant customer, like that. She was a busy woman. Okay, she was a busy woman with the activities in a good grocery shop, in a busy grocery shop. By some commonly held scale of values, no strange, she gave all of them credit. Okay, so she would give all those people, the poor people, she gave all of them credit. Okay, then she would get back the money when they get their wages. Here, expectant means hoping for something good. Okay, credit facility of paying later. Bob her head means moving her head down quickly as a way of showing respect, greeting someone or agreeing with them. Okay, let's move. This is a picture of a busy. shop. Okay. Fascinated, I had hand over my money. Wait for change. Okay. So the poet, he would give the money to mob branch and wait for the change remaining balances. Okay. Fascinated, I had hand over my money. Wait for change. Then race back past the church wall, followed by my shadow. So again, he would see his shadow on the Methodist church wall, and he would try to outrun it, and by playing like that, he would reach his home. Years afterward, when seeking the darker shadow brought me home, I heard that she had died. So, after several years, when the poet grew older, again, when he visited his hometown, he came to know that the woman, Ma Branch was not there. She had died. There is a supermarket on the top spot now. It is larger, well arranged, but it can't fill the space she occupied. Okay, so Mob Branch shop is not there. The woman, the shop owner, Mob Branch also was no more. But now, yeah, there is a supermarket on that spot now. It is very large, well arranged, very neat, very clean, but it can't fill the space she occupied. It can't match to mob branch. Okay, so such a uh, good woman she was. She would treat everybody well. She would give credit to the poor people. She would treat them with gentleness. But now, what happened? There is a very big supermarket, but it can't fill this place of. It cannot replace mob branch. That is what the idea. So here we could see uh, supermarket, how a supermarket will be very neat, very well arranged things, and very large, like that. The supermarket was there, though it is very neat, very large, and very clean, and very large also. Okay, but it can't fill the space of Ma branch. Thank you. Have a nice day.